So the last thing that I wanted to cover just before I get through the tools is I didn't go through measurements and dimensions down here, which is the bottom right hand side, where it comes up dimensions and it gives you a sort of a size there. So what I want to demonstrate here is how we can use that. So we should be using it, we should be creating a model to scale in the sense that it's using the same dimensions that we would use in real life. So for example, if I wanted to create a box that's 4 by 1 meters, I'm going to start drawing out that rectangle, but you can see how that measurement has come out. What I want to do is I'll do 4 space m, comma, 1 by m, and there we go. So I'm able to then type in my measurements down there as well. You can have a look. So there's also centimeters if you're looking for something a bit more precise, but I'm just going to use it in meters. I can also then sort of, I might go through and type this again. Let's see if I can backspace. Oh, I need to draw again. Hold on. If I select on the line, can't change it. That's okay. I need a more upgraded version for that, but that's okay. So that gives you a bit of an idea of how to approach that though. So I can sort of select a space, and if I want to type that in, so if I want it to be 2 meters, 2 meters, so I've typed in 2 space m, comma, comma 2 space m, so I want 2 by 2. That then creates that. We can zoom out now. There we go. If I wanted to zoom out even further. So that's why the zoom tool and these sort of things are going to be important, especially when we're going to be working the scale. That might seem big when it's up close, but actually it's probably not that big to begin with either. So obviously we're going to be working at a bigger scale depending on what your project is. So we can zoom out even further. Okay, so I'll just get rid of this information right now. I'm going to go through the different tools over here on the right hand side. I'll just go back to full screen. So you've got the search tool where you can search for different tools and functions up here, but I just want to go through each of these. So we've got the select tool. So what the select tool does, I'll just zoom back in so we've got something to play with. I'll just click on zoom extents. There we go. So what the select tool does is you can select an area or a line to highlight and then work with. So for example, the blue area means it's being highlighted, so I can click on that. I can click on the surface. What I can also do, excuse me, I can then highlight an area. So for example, I click here and then I draw out my box here. And that means then everything there is then highlighted. That can be helpful. Excuse me. That can be helpful to move things, to delete things. So for example, if I'm going to go to my move tool, which again I'll unpack in a second, select it, and then I can move all of those objects at once rather than one at a time. Or if I wanted to delete them all at once, I can go select them all and I can go to my eraser tool. Oh, hold on, I'll just go back. Will eraser do that? Maybe not. Again. No, I think it will just be those lines. But it's very useful for the move tool and different sort of things that I'll unpack through here. So that's a select tool where you can select a different area. So if I just wanted to select this line and I want to delete that line, that means it's no longer in closed space, so it's just 3 lines. Again, I'll just go back and undo. So that's the select tool. The eraser tool speaks for itself. You can delete lines. Shapes are made up of those lines. So to delete the shape, you need to delete the line. So for example, so that's going to be really useful for different sort of things. Again, if you delete a line, quite often you are then deleting part of the shape too. So just being careful with that, with the things that you do delete there too. Paint bucket tool. That's quite useful for materials. I'm going to go through materials and that sort of stuff in a second, but I don't want to have it this color. I'm going to make it gray now. So I'm going to use my paint bucket tool and I can paint things different colors using that. I'll go through some of the materials a bit later on, but that gives you a bit of an idea. That's that paint bucket tool there. You've also got the dropper. which samples the color if you're unable to find it. So I can then sort of click on that, and then I can use that to apply that. So again, I'll unpack this a bit more in our next video. Our line tool, I already sort of went through that in a little bit of detail in the previous video. So you can then create your own line. So you can draw your own line rather than relying on shapes. And I'm just going to try and create some sort of pyramid. Let me just zoom out maybe. Oh, not quite right. Let me just zoom back out. Let me see if I can. Let's go back. That's going to be a really important thing, that you are checking where you were viewing based on, where is that from though? I'll have to go to orbit so I can zoom around and check. No, it's on the plane. It's not quite what we wanted. Let's try again. That's up. Well, it should be up. There we go. Looking a bit better. So that's the line tool there. What you can also do here, so the line tool, as I said before, where it's, you can then create custom things. Go to there. Well, what I might do is I might show you how we can also then use the line tool, not only to create shapes, but then cut shapes too. So for example, I'm going to do the line tool and I'm going to cut this in half. So then what I can then do is I can use this for different levels. So I can have this higher, that's limited. So I can have that one higher and one lower then. Or rather than cutting in half, I could then cut it this way. You get the idea. Moving on, I want to talk about the angle tool. So the angle tools can be really useful. There's a number of different ones that you can use here. So I'm just going to go through all of them. The one I mainly use though is this 2-point arc here. I'll show you why. So the 2-point arc I find is really helpful. So if I click on an edge here, and then it comes up with a blue, so that means it's working, it's on surface. If I drag it out, go that way. But when it gets to pink, that suggests that it is symmetrical. It's right, the angle is right on all sides, where it's more like this. It's almost like, it's a bit sort of lopsided. So you can go to the pink to get that symmetry. So I'm going to click on that. Just bring that back. Where is that? There we go. So now I've got that, rather than the line tool, I've got the angle there too. What I can then do is I can then, using the push-pull tool, I can pull that down completely. And now we haven't, rather than having that straight edge, we've got that curve there as well. I'll demonstrate this on this other side with the 2-point. There we go. I can pull that across there. Okay. The other angle tools, I'll just go through these a little bit more and I'll unpack it using this. So I use the 2-point because it's reliable for those sort of things. This is the, let me just go to it. This is the arc. So it comes up with that compass tool, and then you can pull around to a certain extent. So you can control, it creates, if you go all the way around, it creates a perfect circle. Like so. Maybe you don't want the entire circle though. So you can create that arc. I'll show you how that can be useful. Is, for example here, and I want to do that arc there, rather than going all the way and do a circle, but I just want to do it like there. And then again, I can then pull that out if I wanted to, push that back in. That's what the arc is probably pretty good for. This one here, the third one, I'll just wait for that to come up with its actual name. It might not. I think this is the 2-point. So we can click there. And what it does, it already comes up with that almost complete circle. You can pull it out. It's a lot more flexible and customizable. I don't prefer this one though, but you can definitely still use it then. So does the same sort of tools, but it's probably good for like the 3/4 and things like that. Last one. This one here, which is the pie. And you can then sort of pull out how you wish to. So for example, I'll do this on this 3D sort of surface. Same deal. I can pull that out, I can push that in, giving you a bit of an idea how we can use those angle tools. Okay, I'll just click back, I'll leave it there. Shapes. So we've got our rectangle tool, which I've already run through a couple of times. This one, I don't think you're going to have to use the rotated rectangle so much. I think you'll be okay. The circle tool, as I've already sort of gone through once before, like so. Pentagon, or hexagon. Which one is it? It's just this polygon, doesn't it? Yeah. You can pull that up, same sort of principles. And you can also do text. So for example, I'm going to type in EcoPod because that's what year 8 is working on. There we go. And I can also then play around and rotate that too if I wanted to. Flip that around like that. I can move that. I'll go through these rotate tools in a little bit, but there. You can do different things like that too with the shapes.